many professional bodies as well as how making the things simplify. So as well as we also having the impact of AI in our daily regular life. So here you can see. So this will be our topic: AI in intellectual property rights, challenges and opportunities. So this will be the battle between the man and technology. Definitely. So AI is being created by the man, as well as technology is also being created by the man, as well as, and we are fighting with the AI nowadays. So we need to share our views with the AI, and AI is giving us conclusions regarding many complicated issues, as well as giving us suggestions, as well as giving us new paths to develop our knowledge, as well as to implement our programs. Here you can see. So nowadays, growth of AI in modern day. So AI becomes sensational when it was first started within years. It has been become one of the most important promising futures of technology. And we all know the importance of AI today. The machine learning process includes analysis of data, identifying patterns of users' preference, and applying it to get optimum results in the market. So we can analyze our data. We know how data is important to our pharma field and how we can relevant it to our regular life, as well as and how we can so make sure the success of our formulations to get into the market. So we need to analyze the data. We have to generate the data. So to regularize as well as to streamline the data. So AI is getting a lot. So and being incorporated into our daily life as well as in our daily activities of our research work. So it is the high demand of manipulating and organizing large amount of data that call for usefulness of AI. So meanwhile, so people are having time to spend a lot in regularizing the data as well as manipulating or organizing the data. So in developing new kind of formulations as well as new scenarios. So but whenever AI enters into the market, it makes regularize as well as simplifying the work where we get it out in very short period within no time. So we can generate our regularized data as well as optimized data. Here you can see artificial intelligence is growing at an exponential rate throughout the world. So this boom raises the question of intellectual property management in AI. So there have been discussions and moderations, but not a conclusion on the subject matters. Definitely, it's been in discussions as well as we are having a chance to moderate our subject. So the final conclusion is being done by the various factors. There are a number of anomalies when it comes to the regulations of IPR, intellectual property rights within the artificial intelligence. So there are a lot of discussions have going on in and around. So how this AI is being implementing is its importance in the intellectual property rights, because purely these intellectual property rights withstands the authenticity as well as so authorities which we gain based upon our skills. Here you can see what intellectual property rights gives us. It gives us legal rights to the creation of mind, whatever may be the idea being generated by human mind. So we need to make sure legality of it, not to copy by anyone, and to expose it to the world, rest of the world, to follow the path as well as to create more wonders based upon that basic ideas. And also AI gives us art and inventions. Definitely it's been an art, intellectual property rights. So and also a lot of inventions happening day by day, and a lot of advancements has been takes place in our daily life as well as in our research works to implement a lot of new formulations as well as to cure a lot of chronic disorders regarding new formulations. And also it regulates existence of ownership and transmission of rights. So we all know, we are all aware of patents as well as authorships regarding this research works as well as books and many other innovative ideologies which we need to get a legal right to expose it to the world. So who has invented it and what will be the existence of that work and what will be the benefits of that work to other research scholars as well as people to make sure forward their work to other levels. Okay. So to ensure incentives, intellectual property rights also gives us ensure incentives, so where we can earn some amount based upon these intellectual property rights by creating legal rights to our mind creations as well as innovations. So coming to the intellectual property rights also give guarantees, credit and recognitions to the person who just invented and who just represents his skills in front of the world regarding his innovative ideologies. So all these are activities done by the intellectual property rights IPR. Okay. So even with international agreements and conventions in place, there is no clarity on law with the advancing technology. So there are questions with reference to ownership of patent and copyright and great concerns over the infringement issues and penalties involved. See, many people know about patent as well as know about some other rights or rules which been involved in IPR, but so lack of awareness is still being in the market where we need to get a lot to know about these rules and regulations of IPR and need to create a lot of awareness among students as well as research scholars where they can expose their work to many platforms as well as they can improve their skills. So countries like the USA and UK have made persistent efforts to interpret the existing laws in a manner that encompasses the AI future as well as. See, of course, so many countries have been welcoming advanced technologies and also they've been implementing a lot and giving space to the AI as well as advanced technologies into the intellectual property rights to regularize their rules as well as to persist their efforts to interpret the laws. Okay, where they can create a good path to the persons who is just utilizing this IPR, intellectual property rights. Copyright issues in case of self-taking monkey in the USA. So Neutro, Slater, and the landmark Ipsos case in Europe interpret the existing laws on the use of words, authorship, and intellectual creation to analyze and come to a conclusion for the ownership of IPR. Of course, we doesn't know there are a lot of issues as well as a lot of so disputes have been taking place regarding this intellectual property rights, like interchange of these authorships or ownerships on intellectual creations, because it might be a crucial fight between the innovations, idea being generated by whom it's being generated and it's been implemented into this world, first of its kind. And there is no doubt about the fact that machine learning and deep learning has changes the face of technology. So machine learning and deep learning, definitely we know about these things and we are quite familiar nowadays. We are hearing a lot about these things and these are the powerful tools which are going to change the face of technology. So things are happening very fast and moving very fast in and around of us. And definitely technology is going to be taking new wave in coming days. And definitely this kind of impact is also having so impeccable changes on our pharma field. Definitely, we can also use these two kind of tools to regularize as well as monitor as well as so bring some changes to our data and we can also improve our innovation skills. Makes easier things. So after that, it drafts a report of the European Parliament to the Commission of Civil Law Rules or Robotics started that in future there will be no stratum of society which will be untouched by AI. Definitely it's going to be strong day by day. So we have been implementing this AI in all kinds of future fields, as well as in pharmacy, as well as in technology, as well as in agriculture or any other noted fields. And even governments are also being encouraged a lot because things have been done in very quicker way. So which will be untouched by AI. So AI has been overlapping with the ambit of intellectual property rights and it raises many issues concerning the laws and methodologies. See, nowadays in research as well as in data analysis, so AI is having a very good role. But when coming to the intellectual property rights, definitely it has to be improved a lot and it need to be improved a lot where people has to create awareness regarding the collaboration of this artificial intelligence with the IPR, intellectual property rights, and make sure to use them in a proper way. So we're not to raise any kind of disputes or issues between the countries as well as between the research scholars as well as scientists to present their work in front of the world. So you can see IPR is an important tool to protect innovation and provide economic benefits for the intellectual work, and AI has turned out to be a new dimension. So before that, So we can see that IPR is an important tool to protect innovation and provide economic benefits for the intellectual work, and AI has turned out to be the new dimensions where VIPO or reorganize three categories of AI: expert systems which solve problems in specific field of knowledge such as medical conditions. So we all know we are seeing very big advancements in our scientific field because definitely we've been approached a lot. So regarding this, recognize three categories. So scientific field, I mean medical conditions, any critical conditions AI is also helping in it to clarify, give some conclusions how to solve those critical conditions. Perception systems that allow the technology to perceive world with sense of hearing and sight, and natural language systems. So this is the second part of the AI. So I mean this is the second advancement of the AI, perception systems that allows the technology to perceive world with sense of hearing and sight, and natural language systems, which we have been so having an ability to use this in our daily life, like voice assistants, where we can also give some commands to the system to sort out works as well as some other issues that requires a dictionary database to learn the meaning of the words. So trademark, copyright, and patent laws exclusively need to be examined in light of the developing and rapid use of AI. So we all know about trademarks, copyrights, and patent laws. Of course, we are being here for a long back years, exclusively need to be examined in light of the developing and rapid use of AI. Already we have seen here three kinds of ways. One is expert systems, perception systems, as well as so database systems. We are having natural language systems that requires a dictionary database to learn the meaning of the words, where we can also absorb in our daily life today. So where we can learn very new things by using these AI skills, and we also need to collaborate this AI to the intellectual property rights where we can protect our things as well as citations. See one thing here, coming to the benefits. Okay, we are having here background of AI or introduction to AI and intellectual property rights. We are having, so till now we have seen what is IPR as well as some important points regarding IPR and as well as AI, what today. And here we can see the collaboration of AI as well, intellectual property rights. Some introduction as well as background as well as ownership issues in AI generated intellectual property and benefits of AI intellectual property rights as well. Challenges of AI intellectual property rights, data privacy and security concerns. Okay, so ethical considerations in AI and IP. So can conclude how this navigates the future of AI and IPR. Here you can see. Just give me a second. Small power issue. Excuse me. Okay, so we can continue. So introduction to the AI and intellectual property rights. Here you can see the AI's impact on IPR. So artificial intelligence is revolutionizing the landscape of intellectual property rights by automatic process, enhancing creativity and challenging traditional options of authorship and ownership. And already we have discussed regarding this IPR and AA. So always we are having a lot of conflicts as well as disputes or issues regarding this authorship transfers and ownerships regarding this claiming of latest scientific skills. So artificial intelligence is revolutionizing the landscape of intellectual property rights, IPR, by automating process. Okay, by automatic process, enhancing creativity and challenging traditional notions of authorship and ownership, and importance of AI in IP. Understanding AI's role in intellectual property is crucial for adopting legal frameworks, ensuring protection for creators, and fostering innovations in a rapidly evolving technological environment. So, definitely, it provides a lot of protection regarding the ownerships as well as authorships to the persons who just invent those things. So, crucial for adopting the legal frameworks, okay, ensuring protection for creators. And objectives of presentation, this present aims to explore the challenges and opportunities presented by AI in the real time of intellectual properties, providing insights for stakeholders in the field. Here you can see the background. So, as well as overview of intellectual property rights and intersections we have seen in our previous slides, and we can see ownership issues in AI generated IP, intellectual property. So, here we are having some ownership issues like challenges of ownership, legal framework limitations, case studies of disputes. Coming to the challenges of ownership, so determining ownerships of works created by AI systems, raising questions about the rights of the developers, users, and AI itself, complicating traditional ownership models. So, determining ownership of works created by AI systems raises questions about the rights of the developers and users as well as AI itself. So, definitely there might be little bit complications whenever we adopting new kind of technologies, and when we collaborating this AI with the IPR intellectual property rights. So, it might give some kind of benefits regarding the ownerships as well as some challenges regarding these ownerships, and we are also having some issues regarding the legal framework limitations. Current intellectual property laws often do not account for AI generated creations, leading to gaps in protection and uncertainty for stakeholders. As I said, many people are having awareness regarding this IPR, but many people do not have awareness regarding these legal framework limitations which been implementing and taking a lead role, okay, in the intellectual property rights regarding this authorship and ownership, which creates some fund or even financial assistance to the creators. Okay, so case studies of disputes, examining real world cases where ownership of AI generated works has been contested, can provide valuable insights into the evolving legal landscapes. And you can see the benefits of AI intellectual property rights. And later we can see the challenges of AI of intellectual property rights. Here you can see enhanced efficiency and productivity. By using or collaborating AI with intellectual property rights, definitely we're having a lot of benefits where we can enhance the efficiency. So authenticity of the work as well as protection of ownership can be clearly identified. So AI technologies can automate routine tasks in intellectual property management, allowing professionals to focus on strategic decision making and creative process. So rest of work will be fulfilled by the AI as well as creative work should be fulfilled by the manpower where they need to grow a lot regarding or they need to focus on strategic decision making and creative process. And one more point, that improved management of AI assets. AI tools can assist in tracking, analyzing, and optimizing the use of intellectual property assets, so leading to better resource allocation and protection strategies. So, AI in IP search and analysis, advanced AI, artificial intelligence algorithms can significantly improve the efficiency of IP searches, enabling quicker identification of relevant patents, trademarks, and copyrights. So definitely manually it takes a lot of time where we can compare with the works, but nowadays technology has been developed in advancement manner where we can easily compare as well as we can easily search a relevant patents, trademarks, or copyrights regarding our initiative works. And coming to the challenges of artificial intelligence in intellectual property rights, so authorship and ownership dilemmas. So the question of who is considered the author of artificial intelligence generated works complicates traditional notions of ownership and rights. Definitely, AI is giving work very simply as well as in a flexible manner. So definitely the question rises. So who is considered the author of AI generated works complicate traditional notions of ownerships and rights. Lack of clarity in IP laws. Existing intellectual property laws often do not adequately address the unique challenges posed by AI. So where we following these intellectual property rights laws and the previous laws do not interfere with regarding these AI advancements in the intellectual property rights, but nowadays, so there might be a little bit challenges. Okay, so the advancements of AI in IPR need to be identified and latest laws and rules to be so framed. Okay, so to determine importance of this AI in intellectual property rights. So next, patentability and copyright risks. AI-generated works may face challenges in obtaining patents of copyrights, raising concerns about infringement and protection. So patentability and copyright risks. Definitely AI-generated works may face challenges. So who will be the authorships as well as obtaining patents of copyrights. So raising concerns about infringements and protections. Data privacy and security concerns. So navigating the risks of AI training. So data requirements for AI training, risks of data misuses, legal implications of data protection. Definitely, where there is high use of technologies, definitely there might be having some black holes as well as loopholes where we can misuse those advancements of those technologies here too. This is not the another point where we can also identify such kind of issues here too. So data requirements for AI training. So AI systems require vast amounts of data for training, raising concerns about the sourcing, consentment and ownership of the data. So risks of data misuse. The potential for data misuse and privacy violations increase as AI systems process sensitive information and necessitating robust safeguards where we need to safeguard our data analysis as well as need to protect it from the misuse. Legal implications of data protection. So compliance with the data protection regulations such as GDPR is essential for AI developers and users to migrate legal risks. All these are challenges as well as benefits of the AI in intellectual property rights and need to take some care regarding data requirements as well as data risks as well as legal implications. And ethical considerations in AI. So here accountability and transparency issues may generate when we develop any work or innovative ideas regarding the AI. The use of AI in intellectual property raises questions about accountability for decisions made by AI systems and the transparency of their operations. See, till date, there is no proper rules in intellectual property rights to address the applications as well as new innovations generated by artificial intelligence with the help of human knowledge. But definitely in future we might expect some legality as well as legal authorities and rules to be framed to support us to command these AI based works or innovations in intellectual property rights. Impact on human creators. A role is creative process may diminish the recognition and value of human creators. Yes, obviously. So we cannot predict whether it is AI's work as well as humans' work. If any person works extraordinary or even produce any impressive concepts in front of us, we might treat it as an AI work because it's giving a lot of innovations, so necessitating a revolution of their contributions. So need for ethical policy development. Definitely ethical policies to be developed. Okay, establishing ethical guidelines and policies is essential to ensure that AI technologies are used responsibly and equitability in realm of the intellectual property rights. So here you can see the latest topic after collaborating of this AI and intellectual property rights is AI patenting. Okay, so types of IP protection, AI technologies in the patent landscape, current state of AI patenting considerations, and policies regarding artificial intelligence patenting. So nowadays we might so adopt these kind of new technologies or sciences where we need to create so or adopt intellectual property rights to expose our skills. One of That is AI patenting. Here you can see IP helps you commercialize proprietary developments and innovations. So AI patent helps us. Here you can see the types of IP protection. One is patent, the protection and invention, which is the concept for a new process, machine, apparatus, product formulation, or ornamental designs. And coming to the copyright, protects an original work of authorship as soon as author fixes the work in a tangible form of expressions. Here you can see patent of 20 years as well as copyright of 70 years, and until loss of 40, trademark or service mark protects an indicia of origin of the product or service. So example include a word, design, symbol, sign, color, packaging, logo, and name. All these are to be included in this AI patenting. So trade secret information that has economical value by not being disclosed and is subject of reasonable efforts to keep it confidential. Examples include knowledge, know-how, software code, and business methods. See, all these are being included in the claiming of patent. So AI patenting has been take a lead in protecting copyrights of the person who invent any patent as well as work or design. Here you can see technologies used in the patent landscape. Here planning, control, knowledge processing, speech, AI hardware, evolutionary computation, natural language processing, machine learning, vision. See, whenever we collaborate this artificial intelligence with the IPR, intellectual property rights, so definitely, so we are in a mode to adopt the AI, artificial intelligence technology to introduce it into the patenting as well as authorship and ownership or copyrights and legal enforcements to be done to protect our innovations. And we need to make sure the involvement of artificial intelligence to create our patent and expose it to the world. So with new kind of paths. Here you can see the AI patenting considerations has recognized that AI is evolving technology and hired examiners dedicated to AI. Okay, so till now just manual examinations have been done, but today, so we have to examine our work along with collaboration of artificial intelligence to assort it. So has set forth policy to promote innovation in AI, is issuing patents with broad claims depending on the field. So after that, currently the USPTO so examines AI inventions like all other computer implementing inventions. Despite patent eligibility concerns in the software space, AI applications usually do not face patent eligibility rejections that cannot be overcome. Okay, so the claims and specifications can be crafted in the way that ties the AI invention to technological improvements. The specifications can be crafted to include the internal structures of the AI model. So structure of neural network. So this will be the best example where we can explain. So written descriptions and so enabled considerations of AI patenting. So describing training phase and inference phase of AI model. See, nowadays many research scholars as well as people or students as well as persons who are involved with the research work have been adopting AI technology so to modernize their works, okay, to compete with this latest world. So describing structures of the AI model and how data flows through the model, like formulas, algorithms, pseudocodes, diagrams, flowcharts to be generated by using these AI algorithms and generating new kind of works. So describing AI models implementation in hardware, software, and both. So describing training data sets, synthetic data sets, etc. All this to be implemented in the AI patenting considerations. So should you file AI patent application? Yes. The end game to work it is granting AI patents. So till now we have seen just patents claimed by the human beings, but now we can also generate a patent, so which is to be unclaimed in the world and we can be filed it in AI patents. Okay. The legal landscape is constantly evolving. We prepare forward-looking patent applications that issue into defensible patents. Your patent filing will create a body of prior art to help prevent competitors from obtaining patents on similar technologies. Okay, definitely it will eradicate such kind of flaws as well as misuse of your ideologies. and it might filter out and regularize the innovative ideologies. So you can prevent competitors from excluding you from using your own inventions. So patent applications and patents have commercial value. Definitely, we are having licensing and some laws have been protecting these patenting claims. So, okay. So should AI inventions be kept trade secrets? A tension exists between the trade secret protection and scientific publications at conferences. Definitely. So world is being evolving and AI is having its own role in evolution of the world. Definitely there might be a creation of space to the AI models to be generated and to be published as well as to expose them to the world by improving with our very work skills. Talent wants to publish their work and therefore keeping the details of AI inventions out of public domain may be difficult. So consider explainability and notice provisions in A Bill of Rights. You can see claim strategies, so claim drafting considerations and other considerations. So we're having claim scope, varying widths, broad and intermediate. So look to training phase and interference phase of the AI models. So method versus apparatus claims, who or what are you enforcing against? Method, manufacturing and operations as well as use. All these are opportunities where we can create patent regarding AI. So AI patenting or AI patents are the new evolutions in the world where we can generate or claim them. And regarding apparatus, overall product, subparts of the product, we can also claim them. So cloud servers or client device claims, since AI models operate on a cloud strategy directed to claiming a cloud device and an interface. Detectability, enforceability, commercial value considerations, and other considerations, AI inventorships, general consequences that AI cannot be invented. So yes, PTO is asking for comments re whether patent applications can be filed where there is a human co-inventors. Today, the doctrine that AI is simply a tool that not an inventor is evolving. So foreign filing considerations, design patents, patterns, packagings. And this is a fact that definitely AI can generate a better patent ideology so than human beings. And definitely there might be a chance to claim it based upon their human as innovative skills. Here you can see, so AI enforcements are infringements, patent validity, and safeguarding your portfolio. So complaints can be and noted as well as claim constructions, proving infringements, types of relief like damages or injunctive reliefs. Patent validity is nothing but guarding against invalidity challenges. Two fronts like district court and patent trials and appeal boards. We are having a lot to appeal. So where we can adopt this AI technology and we can claim patents as well as copyrights. So the main issue in today's world is nothing but authorship and ownership. So many programs have been developed to create awareness among these intellectual property rights and legal claim authorities as well as laws to understand in a proper way to claim our very own inventions as a patent as well as copyrights. Coming to the legal regulations of AI, there is no particular act of provision to regulate AI specifically. So the existing laws do not cover the ambit of AI and are based on old intellectual property types like books, creative writings, and discoveries. The ambit of AI is much more complex and needs to be addressed in a particular way, different from the existing regime. Under the Patents Act, computer programs, business methods, or mathematical formulas are not considered as patentable inventions. But nowadays, advancements have been happening. Involvement of AI is being accepting by countries. As I said in our previous slides, AI patenting is being legalized and being accepted. So furthermore, the terms patentee under Section 2 of the said Act and persons interested under Section 2 of the said Act creates a barrier to include AI in its. There will be two proportionalities in future. There was human skills as well as a artificial intelligence. So work has been divided into two parts generated by AI as well as humans and will be treated in two different ways. The act specifically terms out the patentee of any other person interested to be human. Okay. Under the Copyright Act, there are two basic doctrines which defines originality of the work under the Act. suite of the Brown doctrine of modicum of creativity, since the doctrine states that a minimum degree of creativity is also acceptable, the original work of AI can be included in it. Okay, so acceptability is being treated. So, however, the rights of copyrights are given to the author of the work done under Section 2 of the Act. Author in this Act has been implied to be a human or legal person, thus making the idea of machine to be protected under this Act restricted. Okay. So, firstly, if AI is given the same position as an individual for creating or inventing a work, then it should also be made to enter the field of infringement and enforcement. AI needs to have a legal identity. So, which is what missing today, and we can expect them in future. So, thirdly, there is an issue of transparency of AI systems with respect to holding of IP rights by them. If a situation arises where AI systems are protected under trade secrets, this could be an obstacle to the transparency of AI systems as times are progressing. There is more need and importance of transparency and responsibility for the process of decision making. Definitely, we can see a lot of advancements in future where acceptance of AI in lot of works as well as intellectual property rights. Okay. So coming to the conclusion, so summary of key insights, the intersections of AI and intellectual property rights, both challenges and opportunities that require careful considerations and proactive strategies. Need to study a lot to collaborate both AI and intellectual property rights because it's a question regarding authorship as well as ownership. So whoever should take the, I mean, gain, either AI or human created. So policymakers should adopt existing IP laws, intellectual property rights to address the unique challenges posed by AI, ensuring protection for creators and forecasting inventions. So future outlook on AI and IPR, as AI continues to evolve, ongoing dialogues and collaboration among stakeholders will be essential to navigate the future of intellectual property rights. The whole conclusion of this session is nothing but we have to accept the role of AI in collaboration with intellectual property rights. Definitely, there is a war between human brain or human skills and computer skills, but ultimately the computer skills are also being implementing or inventing by these human brains. We have to accept the truth, and we might expect in future acceptance of these AI roles in intellectual property rights.